The San Francisco Bay Area has always captivated me. Even though it's one of the most dangerous locations for photographers, last year I took a solo trip to the area and got some pretty decent shots of the Golden Gate Bridge, the Presidio coastline, and the Muir woods. So when my girlfriend Kylie wanted to take a trip up to SF, I was more than happy to oblige. I still wanted to get a few shots that I missed out on last time, and at the same time, balance my photography addiction with enjoying the city with Kylie. Our trip began in typical Islanders on the mainland fashion with lunch from In-N-Out. By the time we had dropped off our luggage at the Airbnb, it was already time for sunset. We were able to reach Battery Spencer to catch the last of the sunset glow on the Golden Gate Bridge. The Bay Area is known for its foggy weather, and due to that fog, I was unable to get a sunrise shot from Hawks Hill the last time that I was here. But with clear skies in the forecast, I set out the next morning at stupid o'clock to witness the majestic glow of the bridge. Oh my lord, wow. Would you look at that? Woo! Holy smokes. Oh boy. Okay, good morning everybody. Welcome back to San Francisco. We are back out in the Bay Area for sunrise today, and it is just looking absolutely magical. We're out here on Hawks Hill and came up here because there wasn't a whole lot of fog. As you can see, we can clearly see the skyline, we can clearly see the bridge, and we've got a decent amount of clouds going on back there. Not sure if they're going to light up at all, but it doesn't really matter. But we're getting even a little bit of glow from the bridge up on top of the clouds, which should be pretty cool. Almost nearly perfect. While I did capture a decent shot of the glow at night, sunrise itself was pretty disappointing. I headed back to the Airbnb to meet up with Kylie to begin exploring the city. This would be a routine for this trip. I would wake up early to shoot and meet up with her later, but it worked out to be a pretty good plan because I could get my photography in, then walk around the city playing Pokemon Go while she shopped, as well as eat good food thanks to her recommendations. With clear skies and no fog in the forecast, I was able to convince Kylie to make the trek down to the Presidio coastline for sunset. Woo! There she is once again. Golden Gate Bridge at sunset at the same place as last time. There's the rock. We've got high clouds too, but the high clouds aren't looking as nice as they were last time. So I think I'm just gonna stick to just the classic time lapse for today. And I'm just gonna take pictures of Kylie with this one probably. But this sunset has a lot of potential. There's all these high clouds that have rolled in. I should have brought my third camera to do a time lapse, but that's okay. So yeah, pretty much that's about it. I really don't have anything else for you on this vlog because I mean, I don't know what it is. I think this vlog or this trip is more so of like a couples trip. We're kind of just doing a lot of shopping, a lot of going to different places around the city, and less photography. So I don't really have much of like a photographic lesson. I'm more so filling in the areas that we missed last time and just kind of redoing the same stuff like how we are that we did last time too. So yeah, I don't know. This vlog might just be nice and short and sweet. Overall, the sunset was pretty nice. We got some beautiful side light on the bridge, but despite there being a hint of high clouds, it didn't catch any color. Nothing that could compare to the epic burner that we got here last time. With no fog and high clouds in the forecast for sunrise, I headed back to Hawks Hill, thinking it might be cool to capture the bridge and the city glow with some color in the background. I was utterly disappointed when no color showed up, so I was only able to shoot the glow of the bridge like I did the day before.
Photographically, I was flustered at this point. Nothing was going my way aside from catching that city glow twice, which honestly didn't feel that rewarding. I attempted to renew my photographic drive in the Muir woods. Despite a calm and serene morning, I didn't see anything unique, and there was no amazing morning light event like how we got last time. However, I was able to capture this deer running through the woods. That felt a little bit better, but overall this trip was turning into a bust for photography. After breakfast, we visited the Palace of the Fine Arts, and I snapped a few photos, but honestly wasn't feeling it at this point. I was so disappointed by the weather, clear skies with no fog, and clouds blocking the light for golden hour. I can't imagine worse weather for a landscape photographer. On our final day here in San Fran, I woke up at stupid o'clock, checked the weather, saw that there was once again no chance for fog, and then headed to Battery Spencer for sunrise.
Wow. This view never gets old. It never does. Sheesh. Unbelievable. Good morning, everybody. It's me, Spencer, back here at Battery Spencer. So far, it's been kind of like an iffy trip in terms of photography. You know, there hasn't been a whole lot of fog. We've had high clouds, but they haven't produced anything good for sunrise and sunset. But today is probably the first day where I have a particular shot in mind that might actually come into fruition, or I have a time lapse in mind that might actually come to fruition. Basically, simple Battery Spencer shot, of course. Got here about an hour before sunrise to get the city lights on the bridge. There's no fog, and our horizon line this way is looking super clear. Look at that. So I'm hoping that because the sun is actually rising from behind us this time of year, that we can get, you know, the transition from city lights into blue hour where the lights turn off. And then as the sun rises, hopefully the light can catch the sides of the bridges and just create a nice dramatic glow from the sun. So we'll see. We'll set up the time lapse. Hopefully things go well. But honestly, just getting this shot with all these low clouds in the frame too looks pretty sick. There's even the moon up there. I'm not sure if we're gonna get that in the shot, but we'll see. But yeah, let's get this time lapse rolling. go. Finally some light. It finally came out. And I bet you, if we wait long enough, those clouds are gonna snuff it out once again. So we're just gonna let this time lapse, and I think maybe when the clouds catch the sun again, we'll stop it. But hey, there it is. Nighttime to daytime time lapse in the books. I think that was pretty good. It could have been better if the clouds didn't roll in. We could have got some more intense and more vibrant sunrise light, but that's totally cool. I'm totally fine with these moody glows and kind of after sunrise light, kind of more like towards the golden morning light. But yeah, it's just kind of been how the trip has been going so far. It's just been iffy in terms of the weather.
Photographically, I was still pretty checked out, but I was happy that something finally went according to plan for once. Despite the horrible weather, I wasn't all that upset because it allowed me to spend time and focus my attention on Kylie and just doing normal person things like exploring the city, shopping, and eating good food. Later on that day, we even caught an NBA playoff game, which for an Islander like me is pretty much a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. I'm glad I was able to end the trip off on a good note. However, photographically it was still a struggle. Sometimes in landscape photography, we can go in with these grand ideas about how the landscape and the weather should look like. And when Mother Nature has other plans, we can get flustered and disappointed. I let myself fall into that trap, and even though I tried to make the most of it, I still let that disappointment hold me back photographically. I always preach photographic persistence, and usually that works out. This was one of the trips where it didn't, and I should have pivoted to a more reactionary, creative mindset instead of getting hung up on the bad weather and clear skies. Little did I know that I would be praying for those clear skies for the next upcoming week. While Kylie and I flew to San Francisco together, we would go our separate ways after this trip. I sent her back on a plane to Oahu, and I hopped over to Las Vegas to begin a photography road trip with my friends. This road trip promised to be an experience for the ages, probably surpassing any other photography trip I've ever taken. We begin this epic adventure next week in Death Valley National Park.